Hello everybody, it is time to return to a series that's been long dormant on this channel, and that is the collection show, where I'm going to, for the second time, attempt to do a room tour. Now this is going to be a much more condensed and less broad version of the room tour, but I'm going to try it again, because a lot has changed since the last time I did one of these in 2020. So, let's go ahead and show off my room setup in the collection show. For those of you who have started watching the channel after 2020, you might not remember the collection show, but it's a show I started back then, A, as a filler, but B, as a way for me to kind of show off my various collections, because I collect a lot of stuff, as you can see by the amount of stuff behind me. So I wanted to do a show that focused on the various things that I collect, and I can kind of go into more detail on each one. Well, the first time I did a collection tour of my room, it got kind of lambasted because it's a bit dusty. And I freely admit, yeah, it was. It's not perfect still, but I have done some work on things since then. However, I will say it still needs some bad organization. Part of it is because I just don't have the space. I have more stuff than I have space for, so I'm working on that. I'm trying to find better ways to display things, but that's neither here nor there. What we're going to do this time is I'm going to do kind of a mini tour where it's going to focus on a few things in my overall room setup that you might find interesting that have changed since 2020. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think, and if you want to see me focus on a specific collection in the future for another episode of the collection show, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this was a popular request in terms of series that we should bring back for the 1,000 subscriber celebration, so I figured I would honor that and do another episode. So let's go ahead and take a look at the updated collection. So the first thing I wanted to focus on is this. Now, you've seen this in the background of a lot of videos, I'm sure. This is my new work setup, I guess is what you could call it. I've got two monitors for my work computer, and then of course I have my laptop set up here, which I use for editing. I'm currently processing an episode of the Bargain Game Hunter right now. So this is my workspace. There's my headset that I use for work. There's the camera. I mostly use that during training. I don't use it quite as much anymore now that I'm my fully fledged agent, but every now and again I need it for like a meeting or something. So this is my workspace. The desk is really small. As you can see, it's not the biggest space, especially because I'm kind of performing double duty by both using it for my personal work on video stuff as well as my work. I am planning on getting a bigger desk in the not too distant future. Just had a few other things I wanted to get taken care of first, but yeah, that is a plan. So that's coming. Anyway, there's my work phone, and of course you see notes. I'm one of those people where I like to have reminders of certain things, especially because I'm still fairly new at this job, so I oftentimes look at the notes that I posted at the bottom of these monitors to help keep me in line when it comes to remembering stuff for work. And it's been good. Been doing really well so far based on what I've been told. But yeah, that's my workstation. Below it, we have a couple things. Now, I will tell you, you are going to see some spoilers if you for future Bargain Game Hunter videos, because I have not covered when I picked up certain objects. But there's my Wii U gamepad. I've kept it down here for a while. When I get my new desk, I might have to move it, but okay, that's a good spot right now. And my PlayStation Vita. So I got a Vita a few weeks ago. Now, of course, I haven't gotten to the episode of Bargain Game Hunter yet, but I have a Vita now. Don't have any physical games for it yet, but I have the Vita. I also don't have a case for it, so I'm going to have to look into getting a Vita case. But yeah, first two game systems that I have in here. Now we're going to get to the actual TV, where I can show you how that setup has changed. So here's my TV setup, and yes, I have done some work on it to clean it up a bit. TV is the same, but there's some differences. Of course, on the top, notice the Wii U sensor bar and my camera. What camera could that be for? Well, I'm just gonna break that off now. There's that. So my most recent acquisition, besides the Vita, actually got this on the same day as the Vita, is I did finally get a PS5. It's a really nice system. I've enjoyed it so far. I've started to build a decent collection of PS5 games. So it's been pretty nice. There's my PS3. Now I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, well, why do I have a PS3 plugged in when I also have a PS5? It's because the PS5 can't play PS3 games. And I think the PS3 is a better system to still have plugged in than my 360, which is out in the living room now. So I kept the PS3 plugged in. I actually had to kind of bounce between what systems I'm going to have plugged in into my entertainment system, which one I'm not. So right now I've got the PS3, PS5, and then if you look down here, I have, and yes, I know there's still dust. It's not perfect. I have my Wii U, hard drive, Switch, bunch of games, and my Xbox Series X. So those are the consoles I currently have plugged into my TV. I've got more consoles in the living room, and I'll probably show you those in a bit. Because a lot of those are new too. I haven't shown off all those, but yeah, those are some major changes that have happened to the setup. Now, when it comes to the game collection, a lot has changed. As you can see, it's kind of unruly at this point, and yes, again, spoilers, because some of these pickups I've not shown yet in Bargain Game Hunter. It's a bit of a mess. I have a lot of games. A lot of games that I need to find places for. Here's my Xbox Series / Xbox One corner. I do have some spots, so I need to try to fill those with some of this mess. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then, of course, my giant pile of Switch games, which you saw in videos before. They're moved over here now because I couldn't put them on my desk when I need it for work. So that's there now. Again, I know it's kind of a mess. I'm working on finding ways to fix this. I'm probably going to end up getting like new shelving, because this bookcase that I have all my stuff in, it's not in the greatest shape. As you can see, it's kind of bowing in certain spots. When I put this together initially, it was not in the greatest of shape, and it is still not in the greatest of shape. In fact, it's gotten worse. I'm pretty sure if I tried to move it, it would break. So what I would like to do at some point, and I don't know specifically when, hopefully before we move, but maybe after, who knows, is get probably 2 bookshelves about this big. I'll get rid of this small one, get 2 bookshelves that size, and put them next to each other, and then at least I'll have some more room to kind of spread out the games, because yeah, this is a bit unruly, and I'm gonna fix that. Obviously, my goal is I want to have my game collection very proudly displayed, especially because I've amassed a pretty impressive game collection. But it's kind of hard to do that right now, considering I just have too many in a very small space. And then there's this. I like to call it the wall of ETBs. We've opened a lot of ETBs for Pokemon, and a lot of those are full of cards. I'm going to be downsizing that in the not too distant future as well. Right now, I just don't really know where I'm going to put a lot of this stuff. So one of the things I am going to be investing in the not too distant future is a label maker, because I oftentimes have to open up the ETB to figure out what exactly is in it. So I'm going to get a label maker. Not only, it will also be useful for labeling games, because I do have a few blank cases that I don't have like cover art for. So the goal is to use the label maker to not only put labels on blank cases I don't have cover art for games, but also to label these ETBs so that I know what is in them. And then I'll try to figure out what to do to downsize some of these, because right now I have a lot of stuff. A lot of these are bulk cards that no one really cares about, or it's like, you know, it's a lot of stuff. So again, I know it's a mess, but the goal is I'm going to be downsizing that in the not too distant future. But we live in a small apartment, and you know, it's tough when you have impressive collections that you want to proudly display and enjoy, but you don't really have the space for it. So we're going to try to make that change in the not too distant future. But yeah, that's that's the new, more modern game setup currently. It's kind of unruly, but I'm working on improving it some more. Speaking of Pokemon, and I think you saw in unboxing Pokemon when I got these, but these are my binders. That's where I have all my better pulls. So this is, you know, full of, you know, at least hollows. This one is full of specifically hollows, and some other full arts and stuff. And then this one is kind of my premium binder. That's the one that's got all my like heavier hitter cards in it, as you can see by that first page, which has gold and rainbow cards. I'm probably gonna do a deep dive on my Pokemon collection in the future. That's one of the many collections I would like to do a deep dive on in the future for this series. But right now, I just want to give you kind of a glimpse at those, just so you can see them. But yeah, I have my Pokemon collection. Obviously, I've put a lot of work into putting together a pretty nice Pokemon card collection, as you can tell. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And we'll do a deep dive later on. And then here is a slightly changed update for the Out Here collection, the retro collection as we like to call it. So of course we got the Wii still plugged in, still looking good. We have my new 360, which is an Elite. It's got the wireless adapter and everything plugged in. It works well, that's good. And then of course we have our NES and our Genesis. Still don't have the AV cord for the NES, but I'm working on it. Genesis works. We played it a few times. So yeah, here's a retro older console collection. Eventually we'll relocate this to a different room when we have our bigger place, but here's where it is for now. So yeah, this is kind of a little mini tour of the updated setup and some of my updated collections. Like I said, in the future I would like to do a bigger deep dive into some of them. Obviously the game collection, the Pokemon collection, and a few other collections that I have not shown off yet. So let me know in the comments if there's a particular one you want to see me go through. Of course, I still have my Magic Band collection, my pin collection. I've got a map collection that's pretty cool. I collect a lot of cool stuff, and it'll be fun, especially because right now our goal, Corey and I have already kind of set a goal that we're planning on moving out of here next year, especially because both of us are making decent money now, so we actually might be able to afford to. And the goal is to get at least a bigger apartment where we have plenty of room to spread out. But ideally, we'd love to get rent a house. That would be fantastic, because then, you know, we'll have plenty of room to expand. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot can change between now and March of 2023, which is when we'll finally be able to change things up. But yeah, I just want to give you kind of a little update on my collection, and I'm sure you'll see it grow over the next few months. But if you want to see how I got certain things, of course, unboxing Pokemon, although those videos are all over the place right now, I'm kind of bouncing between videos that I filmed months ago and then ones that I filmed recently, because I don't want... I have a bunch of videos I need to get out, but I don't want to just release a bunch of really old ones. I want to kind of bounce between relevancy. So you're going to see a bunch of different Pokemon videos still coming out. But yeah, that's where you'll see how I got a lot of my pulls eventually. And then, of course, the Bargain Game Hunter on the BigCTV Plays channel is where you'll see my game hunting expertise and adventures, how I was able to amass this massive collection behind me. So, cool stuff. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of The Collection Show. As part of the 1,000 subscriber celebration. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This is the last of our daily uploads for this week. I hope you enjoyed the series. I'm sorry this video is getting out a bit late. I had a busy weekend and it took a while for me to get everything done, but we got it done. Be sure to tune in to This Week with Big C tomorrow, because that video is going to give you information about the giveaway as well as some other cool stuff. So be sure to tune in and take a look. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of The Collection Show. Bye.